Good morning, happy Sabbath, everyone. My name is Karen Brown, Health Ministries leader here at Bladensburg, Seventh-day Adventist Church in Bowie, Maryland. We're going to be talking about beets, so we're going to beat it, okay? All right. So there are other, okay. All right. There are other names besides beets that are used for beets, okay? Red beet, beetroot, and the garden beet. And there's 17 varieties of beets that are currently exist. And they go from very, very sweet to not so sweet, but they're all in the beet family, okay? The red variety has betaine, and it's a compound that makes the color red, okay? And it doesn't really break down very well in your bloodstream. And so sometimes if you eat a lot of beets, your urine will turn red, okay? Don't be dismayed, it's not blood, it's just the color that does not break up when it goes through your urinary tract. Okay. So the golden beet is slightly lower in betaine, but it's still part of that red, has a little bit of red in it, and it's slightly lower in potassium. It is, again, very powerful. Some people actually say that the golden one is actually better than the red one, but as far as taste and nutrients, but I beg to differ because we know that anything deeper and darker is actually richer. Okay, so the beet is 88% water, 10% carbohydrates, so those who are concerned about carbohydrates, 10%, and these are complex carbohydrates, which are really good for you. 2% protein. Now, a lot of people don't know that all vegetables and fruits have protein. This is one that has 2%, okay? And we have sugar, 6.67, a little bit lower than most of our cereals in the morning, okay? Protein and fiber, okay? And rich in folates, manganese, vitamin C, potassium, iron, and nitrates. And nitrates are especially important when you're trying to make sure that your heart is in good condition. Okay, so these nitrates convert into the nitrates for nitric oxides, and they help relax your blood vessels and dilate them so that your blood pressure is not as high. Okay, so something to keep in mind: do not pass up the beets. Try to have beets as much as possible because it does do much more than you think. Okay, so walking and exercise relaxes your blood vessels and improves your heart. And when you exercise longer, you can get, excuse me, pretty exhausted. But the recovery time is enhanced when you have beets. So it's really important that you have beets in your diet because it does help with your heart. Antioxidants, okay? There are a lot of alpha-lipoic acids in the reduce eye nerve damage when keeping your blood vessels elastic. It keeps your blood vessels elastic. So it's really, really important that you actually keep that in your diet. A lot of people, worry about glaucoma and they worry about degenerative eye disease. It's really important to keep the beets in your life, okay? Fiber. Fiber is so important, especially for those who are worried about diabetes. Some people say don't have beets and if you have diabetes, but if you are controlling your diabetes, you can actually have beets because of the fiber. Fiber, it gives you that long burn throughout the day, and of course, if you have a bag of chips, that's going to give you a really short burn. In terms of the amount of sugar that breaks down in your body, it will give you a very high glycemic level if you have chips, but for beets, because of the fiber, it gives you not still pretty high glycemic level, but it gives you a nice burn throughout the day in terms of keeping your blood sugar level throughout the day. Okay, here's a recipe for veggie patties. And for those who can't take a picture, please review this on YouTube. But this is the recipe for beet patties. Okay, and if you want to do a liver detox, this is really important to do as well. And when you have a fatty liver, and many of us are experiencing fatty liver disease. They call it non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, okay? Really important that you understand that this is actually, they say, the precursor to the next generation of diabetics. So if you are not paying attention to your fat in your liver, it's really important to actually find a way to detox your liver and get rid of some of this fat that is in your liver, okay? And some people say, how do you get fatty liver? By eating foods that are full of high fructose corn syrup that create this fatty fat in your liver, as well as highly processed foods, okay? So here's another recipe for a good liver detox. Take a picture if you want, or review it on YouTube later, okay? Green tops of the beets, bitter to the mouth and sweet for your liver, okay? That's what helps to detox your liver. And you have dandelion green, celery, apple, lemon, and turmeric, okay? Really important. Okay, skin off or skin on? The debate is on, and I will say that if you use skin, if you keep the skin on the beet, you're actually doing much better in providing some of the nutrients that are actually found just below the skin. So oftentimes we peel the beet and we actually destroy some of those nutrients. So my suggestion is to actually wash it really well, scrub it really well with some sort of abrasive, but not taking that skin off, roasting it, and that way when you roast it, you are actually getting most of the nutrients into the beet itself, okay? And you keeping all that on. And it easily peels off, very, very thin. At that point, all the nutrients would have gone into the beet, and then you have an opportunity to take advantage of all the nutrients that are actually in the beet. Okay, so beet tops, don't throw anything away. The beet tops, very, very good. They wilt very nicely and are good, almost like how you have spinach, okay? You could use the stems in salads and stews, and they will stay very well in your fridge if you do take good care of them, okay? I have had beets that will last, a long time in the fridge, but the beet tops will also last a good while in the fridge if you preserve them. So again, it is a really good thing to have beets in your life. It provides a daily opportunity for nutrients, and you will have great opportunity for great health. So I just want to remind everybody, I'm not sure everybody knows, but we are actually having our seed party, seed and plant swap. We do an exchange every year, and this is, I believe, our third or fourth year, maybe longer, where we will be exchanging plants, seeds, seedlings. Bring your seeds and seedlings and be ready to swap, okay? That will be April 27th at 2 p.m. And if you look at the QR code to RSVP, it will give you the location as to where it will be, and it's actually in Bowie, so it's not that far. Okay, the last thing I want to mention is that we are going to be having a community health fair and expo, and that will be on June 29th, starting at 2 p.m. and going to 5 p.m., and it will be at Wellspring Manor and Spa, okay? For those who don't know, that's a bed and breakfast that is located in Prince George's County, and it is right in Upper Marlboro. Black-owned, yay. So just want to let you know that that's the location it will be, okay? We're looking forward to having you there, and we're looking forward to this beautiful education day. Happy Sabbath, everyone.